is the inside. In a normal airway, when your asthma is under control, the inside of the airway is wide open. When the airway is open like this, the air can move through the airway and in and out of your lungs very easily. In asthma, there are three things that are going on inside the small airways that make it difficult to breathe. First, the muscle bands tighten around the airway. These muscle bands are squeezing together in response to a trigger, such as an allergen, an irritant, exercise, or cold air. There are lots of different things that can make the muscle bands tighten up, and when that happens, the airway gets narrower because of the tightness, and it really squeezes things closed. The second thing that goes on with asthma is that you have inflammation within the airway. So rather than a nice open space for the air to move through, you have swelling within the airway that narrows the inside. The third thing is that mucus inside the airway starts to plug things up. And now, with this opening much smaller than normal, there is less room for the air to go in and out, and it is much more difficult for you to breathe. This is what an asthma attack looks like. To help treat an asthma attack, we first need a rescue inhaler. A rescue inhaler works in minutes and only lasts a few hours. And what the medication in this rescue inhaler does, and the only thing it does, is work on these muscle bands. And the way it works is by loosening the muscle bands. So let's see what that would look like. So now the muscle bands are loosening, and the airway is once again more open. But there is still swelling, because the inflammation doesn't go away with the rescue inhaler. So to really open up this airway, to reduce the inflammation, you need a controller inhaler. A controller works over days, but lasts much longer. And that's important. What the medication in a controller does is decrease inflammation in the airway. And it works in this area of the airway. Over days of using a controller on a daily basis, the inflammation will decrease, the swelling will go down, and the airway will become more open over time. And finally, with asthma back under control, the airway is able to have air come in and out much easier. So now you have an airway that is open and similar to a normal airway.